Hey everybody, welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers, and it's time for a movie review. In fact, it's time for the Mystery Horrorfest movie review. Tonight, it's Zombie. That's right, everybody. Thanks for checking out the video. Tonight, we're going to be talking about Zombie, or as I like to call it, Zombie 2, the 1979 Lucio Fulci film. I am Rockin Robbie Billups. This is...
Brooks.
This is...
Jelani.
And this is...
Tony the Hitman Horton.
Oh, we got Tony with us. Now, Tony typically doesn't like horror films, especially banned in the UK video nasties like Zombie 2. But let's get into the history of this before we get into our reactions. In which this is Tony and Brooks' first time watching this film. Me and Jelani were already fans. We've been talking about this. It's Italian horror, right? And maybe the Argento cut would have been better.
It would have been a lot better.
You know, that's just a joke. If you've been following Horrorfest. So we did this one special to christen the new studio as well. So we're in the new jam.
Is that what this is?
Yeah, that is what this is.
It's good to see you guys and not socially distanced.
Brooks.
Oh, is it nice, your beauty?
So anyway, when Dawn of the Dead came out, the George Romero movie, Dario Argento had the right and privilege to do the Italian cut of the film with a lot more of the Goblin score and whatever. And that film was released in Italy, and it was called Zombie. Now in Italy, copyright law states it's like you can do a sequel to someone else's movie. Like, I know that sounds crazy, but in Italy you can literally do a sequel to somebody else's movie. This was a common
So we
practice.
can make the next Star Wars trilogy?
No, it has to be like an Italian film. But anyway, so they got together, they started thinking about the idea to do Zombie 2, right? And this is not associated with Argento or Romero, but it is technically kind of the unofficial sequel to Zombie, the Italian Argento cut of Dawn of the Dead. It doesn't matter. Lucio Fulci, this was his first horror film, and I think he did a hell of a job. After this, he did many more. City of the Living Dead, The Beyond, House by the Cemetery. Fantastic stuff. Overall, let's talk about Zombie 2. I freaking love this movie. It's one of my favorite non-Romero zombie films. I love the gore. I love the special effects. I love the music so much. Fabio Frizzi, I believe. So much I love the music. The story is paper thin, but you're not expecting too much. Like, you get more out of the characters in a Romero film or something like that. But in this film, it's not about that. It's a very...
Not at all.
It's a depraved, in-your-face, holds nothing back. I love this movie so freaking much. Jelani, what do you think about this film?
I love this film. Zombie, by far, is one of my... Well, first of all, that monster is the scariest monster to me, like, in general. Because anybody could be one. And you can turn into anything. But the way it's presented in this film, the practical effects are amazing. The music, as you said, was fantastic. It's just... the characters... they're there, but who cares? Because there's a zombie like apocalypse that's starting, and you can tell it starts from right here.
Yeah,
and I love this film. This is like the second you told me that this was going to be a mystery movie, and then you showed it to us in the live stream, I about cried because I was like, we get to watch this.
Well, we had been talking about it,
and we've been talking about it so much. And I thought, all right, I'll see it, the way I usually watch it.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I got to watch it with you guys. So
this was fun.
This was
a fun night. I'm glad we got to revisit it together.
Yeah.
It still holds, because it's in your face, and it gets like this shock reaction out of you. But it to me, it holds up to repeated viewings because to me, it's a cinematic masterpiece. Mm-hmm. Like the level of tension and like... And there will be spoilers. If you haven't watched Zombie, we'll spoil. There's really nothing to spoil. Zombies show up and kill all the people. Anyway, but I love the way it starts, the framing stuff in New York, and you forget that the New York stuff happens. Yeah. And then at the end of the film, it's like, it's a really good like Twilight Zone type ending. Mm-hmm. And I just... It and the music everything. And it all holds together, and it's such a masterpiece. In tension.
They put maggots on people's faces.
They do.
And worms.
And then there's the eye scene, and we'll talk about that.
Man.
So, Tony, Tony's not usually into horror films, and this was your first time watching this one.
Yeah.
And you thought that maybe you had seen it, and I said, do you ever remember watching a zombie ever fighting a shark? And you were like, no. I'm like, well, then I don't think you've seen this one. What did you think about this film, Tony?
This film it's very cheesy. It's really cheesy.
That is true.
The scenes are over the top gruesome. For the budget that they used to make this movie with, anyone can do it. This movie is like cheesy as all get out, and I can't believe they got me watching it.
I'll tell you
So
this
much cheese.
about this movie. You know, he may say what he wants to about anybody can do this and the with the budget and the effects. I'm going to be honest with y'all. Tony didn't see many of the practical effects in this film.
No, I didn't.
Because most of the time he was like this.
Yeah, I was like, bruh, no.
And in fact, after the infamous eye scene, which Tony didn't actually watch, but he heard our reaction to, and obviously heard it. What was your reaction?
That's nasty, dude.
Y'all some nasty
y'all
motherfuckers.
some nasty motherfuckers for that. I'm talking about fresh nasty.
So
dude.
it didn't appeal to you too much?
No.
Okay.
The only thing that appealed to me in this movie, it made it justifiably so for me to sit through it and watch it, was the shovel. And that's all I'm going to say.
When
the shovel. No. They had to experience it just like I did. You had to sit through it just like I did and get to that moment. And when it happens, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
All right.
The shovel.
Brooks, it was also your first time watching this film. What'd you think about it?
I liked it pretty well. I feel like I didn't catch a lot of it. Like throughout most of this movie, it felt like it was you like doing an audiobook of the movie while we're watching it.
Because I felt like we were
It's
talking
like,
too much.
like we'd be talking and like, oh shit, like what did they just say to each other? And then like you'd have to be like, oh yeah, this happened, this happened, this happened. But I thought it was a pretty fun movie overall. I respect it. You know, they went all out with the effects and everything. And the zombies, they all look like, super gross, which...
Yeah, very gross. That's a good word to describe them. Gross.
They are nasty.
These are like old rotted motherfuckers coming up,
Yeah.
It's like there's no discerning between like how freshly dead you are from this curse or whatever. Like everybody who's able to I guess probably like skeletons and shit would probably be getting up too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and he's like
the dead walk.
Let's get the hell out of
That's
here. Army of Darkness.
Army of Darkness happens.
So let's get into some of the characters. This movie doesn't have much of a plot. Doesn't have much character development. There's nobody goes through an arc or anything like that. The most appealing character to me is the Doctor, and I think the Doctor and Richard something I think, but he's to me the best actor. He gives me the most well-rounded performance. I'm more interested in this Doctor. It's very mysterious. You know that he has done something involving science and voodoo ritual, and somehow it's gone way haywire, and all of his patients are coming back from the dead, and now everybody that's dead is coming back from the dead, and I love the slow rise out of the grave. So he's the character that stands out to me. Any character that stands out to you, Jelani?
What was her name with the perm?
I don't know, but the scuba diving lady.
Scuba diving lady.
Why did I know that Jelani was going to mention her?
It's the scuba diving lady.
She's stupid, though, man.
She's dumb as rock. She watches it happen, but she's the best scene in the movie to me because basically it's coming out of the ground and she's watching it. And I'm like, the whole time, like in fear.
Just gets like slightly more wide-eyed each time.
Wide-eyed, and it's coming out of the ground really, really slow. And then like she waits. And it walks up on her and like bites her in the throat, and you're like,
That's the best throat rip I've ever seen.
It's so clean.
Aside from maybe some of the stuff in Day.
And and it's red, gushy, like fake blood.
There's a lot of
perfect.
He didn't see it.
It's nasty.
But like she stood there and watched it happen. I'm like, you were the dumbest person alive. Next to our lady, which we will get to.
I also like how she's just randomly like, hey, let's stop here. The water's real clear. I want to take some pictures. Just happens to be the place where there's both a shark and a zombie. We'll be getting to that.
We're getting to that.
Any characters that stood out to you, Tony?
I'm gonna have to say the Daily Planet guy.
Okay.
Because he was just...
What's his lady's boyfriend or whatever, right? The guy that owned the boat.
Yeah, he was like laid back the whole entire time, and then when shit hit the fan,
he's Superman.
He showed up.
Yeah,
he showed up.
Maybe that's why he's wearing the Daily Planet. Like, actually, maybe that's the reason why they did that on purpose.
He's the hero. So.
He is the hero because the other guy's worthless. He's like, oh, my ankle.
The whole rest of the movie. Oh,
my ankle. His lady that he's trying to mac on all of a sudden, by the way, a zombie reaches out and grabs her hair as he's trying to like make out with her, and he's just like,
what's going on?
Now somebody is digging into his ankle, right? Like so, but yeah, he's great, dude, with the beard and everything. He's really he's a powerful figure in that movie. And
we don't know any of these people's names.
I would like to know their backstory. Him and her, him and his lady. Like, what's their backstory?
It's crazy.
Have they had other adventures?
Because they were always talking about the uncharted islands that were out there. There were so many places they could possibly go.
Yeah. There's a lot of potential there. We should think about
that. It was like a wide open setup for something else.
Can you still make sequels to other people's movies?
In Italy. Let's go to Italy. And we can make Zombie 5. Because they did make a Zombie 3 and a 4, but we won't talk about those tonight. They're way different and not even connected, but whatever. Fulci was sort of part of 3, but he died before he actually got to... Anyway, any characters stand out to you?
Not that hasn't already been mentioned. I mean, there's the female lead and the male lead, the reporter guy.
They were like the least interesting.
Yeah, it was like, I forgot even what happened to them. Did they die?
No, they made it to New York, and they found out that New York was infested by zombies.
They're just so boring.
Yeah, they were. Every interesting person dies in this film.
Yeah.
Another character I really like is the fucking zombie that fights the shark.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the zombie shark scene. First of all, the special effects I think are great.
Amazing.
I think you like special effects?
I love practical effects.
Yeah.
I love how they made this. It's not CG. Of course, it's 79. But you make it to where the film comes out. Yeah. And you see, like, it looks like it's real.
Everything's got to be in camera, man.
Whole time Tony was watching it, and we were like, really, he was like, oh, they just put oatmeal on their face. That's practical effects, but it looks real.
Why would you turn your head if it's just oatmeal?
Right.
What do you think about the effects? Since it's just oatmeal.
It was nasty. It was nasty, dude. It was just over the top, just uncalled for, just nasty. Doesn't make any sense.
You're the reason this shit got banned in the UK.
Yep.
Old Tony is Sir Tony Hitman Horton over there.
And I'm like,
the youth shall
this
not
film
be...
goes against my conservative Christian values.
No.
It probably would. Brooks, what do you think about the makeup and special effects?
I thought it was good. It's probably the best thing in this movie, because they just go all out. You know?
Yes, they do.
It's like whatever they think of, like, let's just do it. I'm like, okay.
You got to think, they're making this movie because they're basically what would happen is they were like, so this movie Zombie's making a lot of money.
Right.
Let's make a zombie film. Well, we'll call it Zombie 2. And apparently Fulci didn't want it to be called Zombie 2, but whatever. Fulci was known to kind of be like an overpowering kind of douchebag, But all that aside, you got to think that they looked at what Savini did in Dawn of the Dead and Zombie, and they were like, "Well, let's outdo this." And I think they did it, bro.
They win. It's a lot better than
It's like they definitely went further than they did in Dawn of the Dead.
And that's what makes a good movie is to go further. Speaking of going further. Zombies versus a shark. I love the zombie shark scene. Now, apparently, Lucio Fulci, that wasn't his scene. He didn't really approve that. They did that on their own, but he agreed to throw it in there. But he actually apparently cut down and toned down the nudity in the scene, but not the shark nudity, which I think was a little bit of a problem. But it's one of those moments in the film that makes it stand out, and it's incredibly surreal. And I think they injected it in that scene because the movie needed an injection at that point. Because it starts off so somber and serious, and then it's building up this mystery, and then it would have taken them forever to get to their first zombie if that scene didn't happen.
Exactly.
And I think that zombie who fights that shark is the most magnificent, moving zombie I've ever... Obviously, he's like a trained diver, so he knows how to... But it's just the fact that the zombie's fighting a shark.
And he's fighting the shark the best way you could ever see it. Like, he's backing away. It looks like a real fight. Yeah. Like a real fight. But round 1 went to the zombie.
Round 2 went to the shark. They each got a bite. Did you like that scene?
No. It was
Tony
nasty.
goes,
It's just nasty.
I mean,
dude.
Tony just goes, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah,
Great
it
fight.
was, and I'm like, bruh, this is no. You had to experience it though.
It was better than Sharknado.
What about you, Brooks? Did you like that scene?
Yeah, I thought that scene was really fun. I like the just the way this fucking zombie's just like attacking the shit out of this shark, like, because it doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm already dead. Like, what you gonna do? Bite off my fucking arm?
I think the zombie.
Oh wait, you just bit off my fucking arm.
Yeah.
Well, shit.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of going too far, though, what about the eye scene? The eye scene to me is one of the most beautiful and perfect scenes in horror cinema history. I don't think it's hard. I don't think it's easy to top this scene with this level of tension.
You
The
see
way
it
it builds
coming.
up. Yeah, but you
see it
think
coming.
that, but
You don't
you
think it
didn't
will.
watch the scene, Tony.
No,
You
because I saw it.
I'll say this.
I saw it, dude.
I'll say this. You see so many horror films that set up a scene like this.
Yes.
Yeah.
But no, all of them cut at the
Before
last
you see it.
moment, don't they?
Yeah.
This one fucking did it not, Brooks? What'd you think of the eye scene?
I liked it. I mean, it was good to see, like, see that they could go there and actually make it look convincing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it is very uncomfortable to watch, though, especially
is.
like right before, because it takes a while,
Yeah.
slowly.
Everyone
you
gets
so
slowly.
slowly see her head getting pushed towards this thing. You're like, oh fuck, and then like it pierces you, and you're like, ugh. And then after that, you kind of ease into it. Like, oh.
Ease into it.
Then you can like appreciate, like, okay,
That was
done.
it was a very
well done, Mr. Fulci.
nicely executed shot. What about you, Tony? What'd you think of
That
that?
was nasty. It was straight up
He didn't even
nasty.
see it. He didn't even see it.
Dude,
He turned
you
away.
see it? I knew it was
He couldn't.
coming.
He's like, I simply turn away.
No, I seen it coming. It's like, oh, when the wood broke, I was like, oh no, and she's sitting like right at the perfect angle while the wood is broken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
what
nasty.
sells- that's
That's
what-
morbid, dude. Y'all like that? It was like y'all were like cheering
That's what
that on.
sells
It was
the gag,
nasty,
man.
Dude.
Yeah.
Is the fact that you know, and every other movie turns away and it doesn't. And why do you like Todd McFarlane? Because he has balls, right?
Yep.
Lucio Fulci has balls. That's why we like this film. It has balls.
Cheesy balls.
so does Spawn, bro. I've been reading it. I'm 80 issues in, and I'm loving it. But it's got some cheesy balls.
balls.
Speaking of cheesy balls, Jelani, what do you think about the eye gouging scene?
Oh yeah, it's brilliant. Like when it feels like it's one continuous shot, and then you get the actual piercing of the eye. Like, I hate eye things. Just like you don't mess with me while I'm asleep. Just little weird horror tropes that I have that I just cannot stand.
That's going to be on your tombstone. It's your
Yeah.
epitaph. Don't mess with me while I'm asleep.
Don't mess with me.
It's true.
But that whole piercing, the actual piercing of the eye in this scene,
The jelly.
is so freaking real. It's visceral for how scary that is that would happen. She is just, and also still dumb to die. She's one of the ladies that doesn't put her arms up and move it out of the way or push back. Or these people, by the way, in this film, these are some of the dumbest people
They are.
I've
They
ever
literally
seen in my life. Like in a zombie, even if this was happening, and this is the first time I've ever seen it, and this is the first time I ever knew about a zombie, and somebody A comes up out of the ground, or B pulls your head towards a fucking thing, and you don't move.
What are you, Joe Biden?
What are you,
You know
stupid?
the thing.
The thing with the people. It's so terrible, and I love it. It's so
Hell
it's
yeah.
so well made.
Hell yeah.
It's so made.
Yeah, man, it's got
It's
some
so
cheese
well
aspects
made.
to it,
Yeah,
man.
it
But
does.
you like Amazing Spider-Man, but we're just
Yeah.
gonna keep moving on
Oh,
through
that's
that.
that's
shot after shot
Fabio
after shot.
Frizzi does the music in this film, and I think the music is utterly genius. I love it. The boom, 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 to the really weird Caribbean music that you would hear at like a
Random,
Margaritaville
yeah. It just
or something.
changes up.
What do you think about the music?
I love this music. It sets the tone for this movie. Yeah, the Caribbean scene
Yeah.
is basically them in a taxi
Was it like,
driving.
Brooks mentioned that it was like a Mario
Mario
level.
Sunshine.
Yeah, so Mario level song.
Mario
it was.
Sunshine.
It sounded like Mario
Sunshine.
Sunshine.
Yep.
Crazy,
That's the one that takes
man.
place on a tropical island.
Really?
Boo-doo.
But that's what it sounded like.
Yeah, it's good, but the
And it's
horror
great.
shit hits
and
good.
the horror is awesome. It like I said, it paces well with the effects of the film. even when they're throwing the Molotov cocktails in that hallway, and all of the zombies are coming, and that music's going, it's doo doo. It's so haunting. It's like it's supposed to be
beat
there, and I love films like this. I like when you take time to scare me. You know what I'm saying? I really do.
Unless it's The Thing.
Yeah, The Thing. Oh, fuck The Thing.
You better not scare
That's
me. I'll
different.
take 0.5 your digs off your motherfucking skull.
You know why? Because it's like it touches you, and it's you. You know what I'm saying? It's all it takes for a thing. Zombie, it bites you. It takes a little while. You can chop pieces off or
Not that one dude. He became a zombie in like 30 seconds.
But it's just, I don't want to get The Thing is much worse than zombies. But zombies, and the way they're presented, and the fact that they were dead, most of them were dead with this, and the music just carries it.
Oh, it's great.
It's fantastic.
It's atmospheric, tonally resonant with the film.
It really is.
I know you didn't watch a lot of the film, but you heard all of it. So what did you think about the music, Tony?
It was pretty decent.
Tony's like, I'm never doing that fucking video. All you do is ridicule me for not watching this film.
It was your typical early 80s retro monotone when it really needed to be. It set the tone. It's your typical B-rated soundtrack if you're into that type of music.
Not a B-rated soundtrack, Tony.
It is.
You just hating because you saw eyeballs.
It was cheese, man. I've never the coolest. Like
Tony's
I said,
opinion is valid, and many people that watch this video may have that opinion.
But the coolest thing about that was that shovel. That shovel. You had to sit through it just like I did.
That was the one moment where he started I felt like Tony was having a good time during this.
Yeah, because I didn't see it coming. Nobody
So
saw
I
it coming.
feel like there was something, as much as you're like, this movie was nasty, there's a piece of you that was like,
this was good.
this was nice, though.
Yeah.
It was nice diving into the nasty every once in a while.
I don't know about that.
What about you, Brooks? Speaking of diving into the nasty, what do you think about the music in this film?
I liked it. I always had kind of like a thing about that 80 synth kind of music, especially like the synth organ that they use in a lot of these movies, like make things dramatic, intense, and shit. I love that shit. So
Hell yeah,
I was into it.
This is normally the time where we try to get deep about what this movie's actually saying, but honestly, what's it trying to say? It's a typical Dr. Moreau thing. So you got your Frankenstein, you got your island and Dr. Moreau, you got that idea of don't fuck with science and don't fuck with religion. Exactly. And don't go onto somebody else's island and try to use and appropriate their fucking voodoo religion and mix it with your... Who knows what this fucking doctor did? But there's a reason why woman was so fucking crazy. She's like, I know what you've done. What? We don't know exactly what this dude has done.
Yeah,
they're dead people. Don't fuck with shit. Let shit alone sometimes. Don't fuck with people while they're asleep. Don't be bit. And the biggest lesson is this. If something is slowly coming up out of the ground and it's got worms and maggots all over it, run! Get the fuck up out of there.
At least briskly walk away.
Yeah. If it's not your home, leave it.
You know what? There's one other character I think we all can agree upon when we saw him in the movie. It really set the tone for everything. And that was the native that was pulling in the boat. And he was squatting down, pulling the boat, and they come up on this boat
with that music, that Mario music.
Yeah, with all the couples and everything on this boat, and this native dude is looking at him. He's like, and he throws up that little cross.
Yeah,
deep in the
well, those guys are fucked.
Yeah, they sure are. What's this movie? Is this movie trying to say anything?
I don't see anything in it other than run, you stupid people. That's the only thing I can teach anyone. Stop looking at it and run, and that's all I got.
Is this movie trying to say anything, Tony?
I think it is. I think they had a story that they were trying to tell, and they didn't have the right amount of budget to tell the story. They didn't have all the resources to tell the story with, but they made it happen. Mm-hmm. So I think it's trying to tell you that whatever it is that you're working on and the odds are stacked against you, you can still come out with something at the end of it with making the best of what you already have at your disposal.
I mean, that's incredibly profound because this goes down as in a monumental film in horror cinema history and Italian horror history, right? And then the idea that they didn't have a permit to film in New York,
right?
And they filmed on that bridge at the end, and that's fucking dope.
Yeah.
And you don't see zombies going through the streets of New York.
No,
they don't.
because they don't give permits for that shit to shut
Right.
down the business. They just went and did this shit.
Yep.
Can you imagine a fucking van full,
get
like a
arrested.
U-Haul,
Yeah,
these
just
dudes
come
dressed
out.
up as zombies just coming?
Yeah.
Get it!
And they just walk straight across the ridge. Cars
Yeah.
are going back and forth, and it's like,
Push it too.
Yeah.
Take it to the push it to the limit. Take
Yep.
it further than what somebody else has already done.
yeah,
Yeah.
they took the zombie thing and flipped it on his head. Zombie versus shark.
Guess what does it?
Yeah, I mean nobody else ever had the fucking.
It's like, wait, we know this dude that can
Testicular
like
fortitude
swim
to
with
do
a
that.
shark. Like, why don't we just put zombie makeup on him and have him like pretend to fight a shark?
Is this movie trying to say anything?
I think it's like about how the best intentions can backfire.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Because like it starts, this dude wants to help these people who are like,
Allegedly.
like,
Yeah.
yeah.
We're
know
actually.
what
I
he's
think
doing.
we're reading that into it.
Yeah. It's like,
I was experimenting
they
and
really don't give us much information about this dude. Like,
No.
we just
No,
assume,
he's
like,
just a doctor.
he's probably trying to be a good guy, maybe, or at least was at some point. But, but, like, it goes really wrong, apparently, because, like, I guess the curse, like, gets out of, gets out of his control, and then all of a sudden, like, he's dead, too, and then, like, there's, like, all these dead guys walking around. It's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, it's kind of fucked up.
That's kind of things that go. That's when you know things are going south. When like
Yeah.
dead guys just start walking around.
That's
and
when
shit.
you know that you have fucked up. All right, let's get to the ratings. Out of 5 possible you digs, Jelani, what do you give this film?
bruh, you should already know. 5.
Another 5.
Sorry.
Hell yeah.
5. This is so clean. Like, the story's not the best. And you're not in it for the story. You are in it for these zombie kills. You are in it for this shark. You are in it for the zombie. You're just in this film. The music sells it. You don't really need much. It's a good popcorn flick. If you want to freak out your friends, watch this movie.
Hey Tony, come over.
You
We're
wanna
watching
freak-
a zombie movie.
Like tie your friend to a chair and like duct tape his like.
Yeah.
hold
Make sure his eyes are
eyelids
You must watch this film.
Fucking Clockwork Orange, your friends.
Yep. And then
Singing in the
the
rain.
entire ice sequence must be watched by all.
Oh, it must be.
Is alone.
I let
that
Mike
says
and
alone.
Jay Strick watch that today, and both of them were severely fucked up by that.
Yeah.
And it was great. So 5, perfect score.
5, man.
What about you, Tony? Out of 5 possible you digs, what do you give Zombie?
I'm gonna say 2.
Okay.
Reason being, it's cheesy as all get out, but it has some entertaining points to it when you watch it. But the fact that I'm giving it the 2, because this is like outside my realm. I don't generally watch anything that's horror related. But when you tell me what we was watching, I kind of watched the trailer to it, and I'm like, this can't be bad.
Are you challenging me?
It's worse than bad. But if you want to be entertained, if you got those little kids that are like 9, 10-year-old wanting to watch something,
You
wanna watch a
recommend this
horror
movie
You
to
put
a
your
I do
kid-
not
not
recommend
10,
this movie
no.
to a 10-year-old.
No, I will not either. I will not endorse that. When they're ready.
Just slap it on the Disney Channel.
Parent however you want.
Yeah,
They'll have
but
nightmares. They'll have
it's
nightmares.
cheesy. Once you watch the intro to this and then watch it yourself, then you'll be like, oh, this would be a good one to throw on for the kids for Halloween. But
It would be.
yeah,
You'd be the life of the party.
Yeah.
it's nasty. For no apparent reason, it's just
like it.
nasty.
Brooks, out of 5 possible you digs, what do you give Zombie?
I would give this one a 4. I mean, I don't feel like I've gotten the full experience of this movie, because, watching it with you guys.
Sorry, man.
But I was
Which
trying
I
to
mean,
give you
like-
the cliff notes.
Yeah, I mean, it was fun. It was enjoyable to watch with you guys. but
You can borrow it. You can take it home with you tonight.
Yeah, I think I might
like
give it
watching.
a little better, like, if I had a chance to watch it, and like actually like,
Absorb it.
watch it. And not have to get, a kind of a Cliff Notes explanation of what's going on strung together in between zombie attack scenes.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a really fun movie. It's got like the effects, of course, are great. And I'd totally watch this one again, man.
I'll give this one a 4.5. It's a super solid film. It's not super nuanced with its, character interaction or growth or anything like that. But it's got great music. It's got great effects. It's got great... I think it's got a good pace to it because of the zombie shark scene.
Yeah.
Like, it starts kicking the movie up right when it needs. And you see that and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, I remember the first time, like, I had heard about this film in the early 2000s. I think that I first heard about this film on Bravo's 100 Scariest Movie Monster Moments or something like that. They were talking about the eye scene.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I've got to see this. Right? And so I found a copy. And this movie blew me the fuck away. Like, when that zombie shark shit happens, I was like, this is dumb, but I'm really, really enticed by this. Like, I think this is really magnificently beautiful. So I think it's 4.5 because it could have a little bit more emotional resonance and weight to it, but it actually doesn't try to do that. It gets its weight in a different way of getting in your face. And the violence is not realistic. Tom Savini does a lot of realistic violence. Yeah. This is a lot more fantastical, but to me, it's almost more effective than the violence in Dawn of the Dead. For me, like, I love Zombie. I think it's great. 4.5. So 5, 2, 4, 4.5 for a weird PCP average of 666. Anyway, that was our Mystery Horrorfest movie for 2020. We'll do another one of these every single year. Tony, thank you for joining us and helping christen the new set, which we are dubbing Huntsville Attic 666.
Are you going to break like a bottle of champagne on the table or something?
Anyway.
Shatter this DVD.
I've been Rockin Robbie Billups. This is
Jelani Bullard.
This is
Tony the Hitman Horton.
This is
Brooks.
We are Pop Culture Philosophers. Thanks for joining in. And let us know down below, what do you rate Zombie 2 from Lucio Fulci out of 5 possible you digs? Let us know. Thank you so much for checking out the video. Please do like, share, subscribe. Join us over at popculturephilosophers.com for podcast blogs and a whole lot more. You dig?